Hello, welcome to this video. Here I will be demonstrating our dashboard for use case 3, that is budget forecasting. To give you guys a quick overview, so currently the budgeting for various undertaken clinical trials is done with Excel, which is quite messy, time consuming and prone to errors. It's quite difficult to retrieve any piece of information when required for any sort of analysis or prediction. Different managers use various methods to compute a budget. And thus, whenever there is any change in any of the metrics that contribute to it, the budget needs to be recomputed. So there's like a constant need to keep updating it. Now, this is exactly where our solution comes into picture. So our end product is a super interactive and intuitive dashboard, which would allow the managers to look at these automated budget and also keep a track and monitor the progress of the trials very efficiently. So let's start by taking a look at our ERD. This is our schema, and we can see how different tables are related to each other. So 5 tables are fed into this dashboard, which are patient enrollment, study information, visit timeline, screen failure, and visit procedure. We also have a few dynamic tables like calendar and pushes, just to make sure that everything is in sync and any new metrics can be added very easily. We then have our automated script, which takes into account various parameters from these tables to compute the budget. Now, let's look at the ideal user journey of a project manager by going back to our report. Let's start with the home page. We have 2 slices at the right, trial ID to indicate the trial that is being considered, and then we have push ID. So whenever a new set of data is being entered, it is represented by a push ID to uniquely identify it. And then we have study information. So this indicates different parameters of the study. And we have color coded the most important ones, study complexity and study phase. Let's take a look at push 1. So here we see that the complexity is medium and it's in phase 1. Now on the top, we have the most important KPI, which is the overall cost. So this is a summation of total patient cost and vendor cost. So we can take a deeper look into these by navigating them at the bottom of the page. We can also use a shortcut, control and click to get there. Okay. In this dashboard, we have 3 filters to the right. Here, trial ID and push ID. We have 2 main KPIs, which is budget forecasting. So we can look at the budget for the patient cost across different timelines. And then we have patient enrollment. So this is the number of patients enrolled across various timelines. So let's select a particular year, trial ID as 1, and let's select a particular push. So further, we have like a drill down feature here to look at the budget at a quarterly and a monthly level analysis. We can view the details here. In a similar fashion, we have the quarterly and a monthly level analysis. Moving on to our next KPIs, which is the patient cost. So this is the total cost that is spent for all the patients till now. We have the remaining cost. This is the total cost that is yet to be spent till the completion of the trial. We have total number of patients enrolled in the trial. And then we have the screen failure percentage. So this indicates that 15% of 220 are most likely to have a screen failure and withdraw from the trial. And then we have the screen failure likely visits. So these are the visits where the screen failure is most likely to happen. Over here, we have the per visit cost for each of the visits. So our automated script takes into account all these parameters to compute the budget. Now, whenever there are any changes in any of these metrics, for instance, the CROs or vendors realize that they need more number of patients for the trial, or they are experiencing a slight decrease in the screen failure percentage, they send across this updated data, which is entered as a new push. So let's look at push 2. Here we see that the total number of patients has been increased to 245, and the screen failure percentage is decreased to 10. And here are the new updated screen failure likely visits, and we have the recomputed budget here. So in this way, the project managers are able to look at different metrics across various pushes and also look at the recomputed budget. So this helps them to track the budget and the trial very efficiently. Now let's move on to the vendor costing. Over here, different vendors submit their quotations to the project managers. The managers look at these quotations, compare various parameters, and then select a vendor to perform the clinical trial. So in this page, we have three filters. Push ID. So the different quotations submitted by vendors are represented by a unique push ID. Then we have percentage change ID. So this is to compare the percentage change between the quotation of different vendors, that is different pushes. And then we have vendor services. So this is to compare the percentage change between any of these sub-services. Now let's look at the cost breakdown. Here we have the listing of different sub-services and their individual cost along with the total cost. And the same is represented here in a distributed manner. Now, these visualizations can easily be changed and formatted by using the visualization panel. Okay, so moving on to our next KPIs. So this is the total vendor cost and the percentage change. So let's see how they work. So this is the data for push 1. The total cost is about 6.07K. And for push 2, it's about 6.76K. Now let's compare it with push 1. So we see that there's about a 11% change between the total cost, right? Exporting the current report as a Power BI template or a PDF. The manager can also publish this into any of the workspaces so that okay. Once again. Now let's look at how the cost varies between any of these sub-services. Let's start with project management. So we see that the costing for project management by vendor A, that's push 1, is about 300, and by vendor B is 330. So there's like a 10% change. Moving on to drug supply management, we see that the costing is 450 for push 1 and 550 for push 2. So there's like a 22% increase. In this way, the managers are able to look at various parameters and decide which vendor to opt for to conduct the trial. Further, they can share the report with the team by either publishing it in their workspace or exporting the report in the form of Power BI template or a PDF. So this makes sure that there's sharing of information and all the members have total visibility into the progress of the trial. Thus, we've come to the end of the user journey. Thank you for watching.